Imagine you're standing in a kitchen that's already cramped with cabinets, a dishwasher, and a tiny island, and you finally decide it's time to upgrade the old fridge that's been humming in the corner for years. You've done the math, measured the space, and you're staring at a sleek, counter-depth model that promises to sit flush with the cabinetry while also bragging a smart Wi-Fi panel and a craft ice maker. I get why you'd feel a little uneasy spending a few $100s on a fridge that doesn't fit or that ends up being more tech hype than real help is a nightmare you don't want to relive. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk through exactly what this LG 23 cubic foot InstaView door-and-door refrigerator actually brings to a real home, where it shines, and where it might leave you wishing you'd gone another route. First off, the counter-depth design is the most obvious visual win. Unlike the bulkier standard models that stick out a few inches, this LG sits almost flush with the surrounding cabinets, giving the kitchen a built-in look without the cost of a custom installation. If you've ever tried to pull a cutting board out of a fridge that juts into the walkway, you'll appreciate the extra breathing room. The trade-off, however, is that the interior volume is a bit tighter than a full-depth unit of the same cubic footage. For a couple or a small family, 23 cuff usually covers groceries, a few leftovers, and a modest stash of frozen meals. But if you're feeding 3 kids, a home office lunch prep, and you like to keep a weekend bulk of veggies on hand, you'll start to feel the squeeze. The door-and-door feature is where the daily convenience factor really shows. It's essentially a smaller portal on the main door that opens independently, giving you quick access to the items you reach for most. Think milk, butter, a bottle of juice without pulling the whole fridge door open and letting all that cold air escape. In practice, this means when you're juggling a toddler and a coffee maker in the morning, you can snag the milk with one hand, close the mini door, and keep the kitchen from turning into a freezer. That said, the mini door's width is designed for standard grocery bottles. Larger containers like a gallon of orange juice or a family-size soda jug still need the full door, which can be a minor annoyance if you're used to having everything within the same portal. Now, the smart cooling system and Wi-Fi connectivity are the tech-savvy bits that set this fridge apart from a plain stainless steel box. LG's algorithm monitors temperature fluctuations across the compartments and adjusts the compressor cycles to keep food fresher for longer. In real life, that translates into fewer, "Oh no, my lettuce went limp" moments, especially if you tend to leave the door open for a while loading groceries. The Wi-Fi panel lets you check the temperature from your phone, receive alerts if a door is left ajar, and even run a quick diagnostic if you suspect something's off. For people who are already juggling a smart home ecosystem, that integration feels natural. You can ask Alexa to tell you the current fridge temperature while you're still in the living room. If you're not into apps or voice assistants, you'll probably never tap that screen, so the extra cost for connectivity might feel like paying for a feature you'll never use. One of the headline attractions is the craft ice maker. Unlike the standard ice cubes that melt quickly, this unit produces larger, slower melting spheres that are perfect for cocktails, whiskey on the rocks, or even keeping a pitcher of sangria chilled without diluting it too fast. I've seen homeowners who love to entertain use the craft ice for weekend gatherings, and the visual impact is real. Those clear, marble-like spheres can make a simple glass of water feel a bit more upscale. The downside is that the ice maker occupies a chunk of the freezer's interior space, and it requires a separate water line connection. If your kitchen layout doesn't already have a water supply nearby, you might need to run a line or rely on a portable reservoir, which can be a hassle. Also, the craft ice maker can take up to an hour to fill a bin, so you have to plan ahead if you want a full tray for a big party. The fingerprint-resistant finish is more of a subtle perk, but it's worth mentioning because kitchens get a lot of smudges from hands, from spills, from the occasional stray pancake batter. The exterior stays cleaner with just a quick wipe, and that matte look keeps the fridge from looking like a shiny billboard in a high-traffic area. It's a small convenience that adds up over months of daily use. So, who should actually consider this LG model? If you have a modest kitchen footprint and you value a sleek, built-in look, the counter-depth design is a genuine win. If you're the kind of person who drinks